today, which is Avatar: The Way of Water. So the first teaser trailer of this movie that's been in the works since a decade. has-
Why are we talking about this? Nobody cares about Avatar. Nobody
yeah,
cares.
nobody cares about Avatar, right? But casually, it comes out one day, unannounced. The trailer drops and it breaks records on YouTube for views. But nobody cares
Yeah,
about Avatar, right?
nobody. Oh,
So yeah, we've heard the description for this a while ago, but now finally we've seen the trailer. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see this in the theater with Multiverse of Madness because they didn't play it. I don't know why they didn't play it,
oh.
but it was I was actually looking forward to it. But yeah, they released the trailer online, and look, we have been saying this for a while now that never doubt James Cameron, and he has a very good track record for making great movies that people actually go watch without even you don't have to advertise much for his movies and people still go watch his movies, and he has proven that with multiple franchises, not just one kind of movie. There's a lot of difference between Titanic and Avatar and Terminator. So he knows what he's doing and he knows how to capture the audience. The first Avatar was a huge deal in the history of cinema. Whether you think the movie, was the storyline was average or whatever, but it was impactful. I know people say that people bring up the headlines about why was an Avatar so impactful on cinema. I'm like, where were you all these years? Because it was impactful. The fact that people still talk about it and the fact that it got four more sequels greenlit already, uh, says that it
Eight.
yeah says that it actually was impactful. So look, at that time, one of the biggest draws for this movie was definitely 3D, right? So 3D was new at that time, and people just wanted to experience that in a theater. It's kind of similar to what Aquaman was. The whole movie was underwater, and people wanted to see that and wanted to experience that, right? So the theatrical experience is prioritized for these types of movies. And now James Cameron is back, but this time it's underwater again. So I don't know how much reinvention he had to do for this movie, but the CGI looks amazing in this trailer, and there is no element of 3D. Yes, that was back then, but there would still be new stuff here that you would only experience in a theater, as opposed to just watching at home. So I would say that this movie would do pretty well as well, just based on it being Avatar, it being James Cameron, and I know people people would say that there have been so many Marvel movies, superhero movies are the top genre right now, and nobody cares about Avatar. Why would people go watch this movie with a random story that's very generic based on today's times, right? There's multiverse, there's meta stuff going on in every franchise. Why would people watch this? To them, I say that just wait and watch. Your friends will go pull you to the theater, because this is that kind of movie. Like, people who don't go to movies usually will go see this movie. So this is that type of movie, and everyone will be talking about it. Every single person. So yeah, I do see that it will do well. I don't know if it'll hit 2 billion and stuff like that, but I would say that it would do pretty well for itself. I would say that it would make 1 billion and more than that, but it all depends on how the movie is received at the opening box office. If it's a big hit at the opening and word of mouth is that you need to see this in a theater, don't miss it, and all that stuff, which I'm sure the marketing would also do, because of course they will put everything into the marketing. It's James Cameron, it's Avatar. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The trailer really impressed me. It looks very, very good, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, the trailer played before Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and I missed the first minute of it because it was on my phone. I was like,
Wow.
I didn't remember it was going to play, and I was like, oh, the Avatar trailer. So anyway, from what I did see in theaters, yeah, it looked awesome, and then the trailer was released. But like it, like I'm not going to sit here and say that I think Avatar is one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm not going to say that I think this one is going to be the greatest movie of all time. But the movie was impactful to cinema and to to global audiences. So I don't want to miss Avatar 2 in a theater. I want to experience this. I want to talk about this with people. I think a lot of people would like that as well. The people that say that this movie nobody's excited for, I think they're in a bubble because we all love to think that we dictate box offices and all that kind of stuff, streaming numbers, when in reality, it's the global general audience that dictate a movie. They go back a time and time again. It's average Joe who works in an office, who doesn't go to movies that much. He goes to see Avatar. He loves it. He watches it. He goes to his workmates. Have you guys seen the new Avatar movie? You have to go see it. And that's how word of mouth spreads for these types of movies. The Marvel movies have their own fan base and it reaches out to people and they're family friendly and stuff like that. You go watch it. It's a big event. The next Marvel movie. So is the James Cameron movie. James Cameron has done this from with original content, built it up from nothing and made it into a global phenomenon. Terminator. Look at that franchise. Yes, the movies after his first two didn't do that well, maybe received that well, but they made respectful box office. It's a franchise. There's been series, there's been spin-offs, things like that. And then you look at Titanic. That comes out of nowhere and is the most profitable movie of all time. And then the dude comes back a decade later and makes the most profitable movie of all time again with Avatar. This isn't Star Wars. It isn't DC, Marvel, Jurassic Park. It isn't anything like that. These are things that people don't know about really. And he built it up to be a huge success. So yeah, I don't understand people doubting James Cameron at all. He's one of the greatest directors of all time. And if he felt the need to put aside his career for 10 plus years to make these sequels to these movies, then it must have been for a very good reason. And he couldn't make the movies until technology became available. And he waited and he crafted and he made sure everything was perfect for when he could shoot. And it looks perfect now, judging by this trailer. This trailer looks crisp, it looks clean, it looks really, really fascinating. I'm not so sure the story is going to be over or emotional and oh my god, wow. I don't know that. Nobody knows. But it looks fantastic. It looks like something that you have to see in a theater. And it looks like something that if the one in 2009 could be as huge as it was at that time, people wanted to live in the Avatar simulation universe and to be those things. I don't know if it's going to have the same impact. We just don't know. But I think these films will do pretty well for themselves because of James Cameron's track record, because of what he's done with different audiences from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And now, will he do it again? I think he will. I'm not going to doubt him anyway. No, I'm not. And people, you know, we have to remember as well, the Avatar 1 came out. It didn't make 200 million opening weekend or something like that. It had legs. The word of mouth spread about that movie. You have to go see Avatar. People went back and back again, and the 3D element to it. I don't really watch movies in 3D, but I want to watch this one in 3D because I don't think he's making just an average 3D movie. I think he's actually going to make something that actually looks like it's actually real in front of you right now. Because what was he doing? Sitting around just making Avatar movies once a week, just oh, shoot this part now. Okay, yeah, I'm getting paid millions just to do these movies for 10 years. The dude's going to come out swinging with something that we've never seen before. And if he hasn't done it, if he, I just can't think that he hasn't been doing something amazing and new. Like he has to be wait this long.
Yeah, I agree, man.
You know?
And it comes out in December. I hope it doesn't get postponed. That's the perfect time for it to, make money as well. So I am really looking forward to it. Or
Yeah, and Rokon says, yeah, I mean, my favorite Cameron film is still Terminator 2, but I do enjoy Avatar a lot. The collector's extended cut, especially, is fantastic. The first film looked fantastic in 3D, so I can't wait for this one. And Terminator 2, guys, go rewatch Terminator 2. It looks like it came out today. Some of the action in that is fantastic. And he shot a lot of that, like a lot of it was natural shooting and stuff like that, and he's there with holding the camera and, the dude is just amazing. And he loves movies as well. He talks about all the different directors, Zack Snyder, Alita, Battle Angel with Robert Rodriguez. I really like that movie. He understands cinema and he understands what audiences want and what they don't want. And that's why the guy has been able to, like, can you name a director who has attached himself to general audiences from each decade like James Cameron has and made a lot of money from it that wasn't the franchise? Can you name one? Can you? I don't know if you can.
I think the only
You know?
one who comes a little bit close to that is Christopher Nolan, but even he didn't make a lot. His movies are pretty great, but he didn't. He's not known to be a box office magnet like James Cameron is. So that's one, that's one area where Nolan would be lacking in that sense. But yes, James Cameron is like, he makes an original movie, it becomes a huge sensation, it makes a lot of money.
And I'm glad that he's back with movies now again because we've been missing something the last decade plus with him. Not he's been making movies, but we haven't seen any of his movies. So and there's like, he produces a lot of stuff, but there's a difference between somebody producing something and somebody directing something. So yeah, Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, not a great title, I don't think, but whatever. Go out this Christmas, and I think DC were right to move Aquaman in my opinion. And hopefully Shazam does well enough, but I think Aquaman, I think Avatar 2 can do pretty well at the box office, because I think there is a lot of people out there who remember going to the first one with their families, weren't big cinephiles or movie fans. I think they'll be interested in this one again once the trailer starts playing, once the marketing starts to ramp up. I think there's no stopping this movie.
Yeah, I agree.